Hello everyone, welcome back to Project Fiero. Well, I hope you recognize these guys, because when we first started this project, this was the first thing that we rebuilt. It is the rear brake calipers. And you're probably wondering, why are we visiting them again? Well, the rear calipers have the e-brake mechanism, which is actuated by a screw. Now these screws have opposite threads depending on what side they go in. Well, long story short, I got them mixed around. So I'm back up here, taking them apart, and I'm just going to switch over the screws and the pistons. But also while I'm doing that, I'm also going to put on some stainless steel braided brake hoses. And to start things off, we're going to put some anti-seize on the threads of the bleeder screw. Now, since this is a steel bleeder screw going into aluminum threads, you can get quite the nasty corrosion that will glue these bleeder screws into place if you don't put any of this stuff on. Using a pair of C-clamps, you can slowly compress the piston back into the caliper. But be mindful of the hole where the actuator screw comes through though. After that, you can replace the anti-friction washer and the rubber washer that sit in between the caliper and the e-brake actuator. After that, you can go ahead and replace and tighten the nut that holds the entire assembly together. And after that, you can go ahead and remove your C-clamps. Alright, it is now the next morning, and it's time to put the calipers back on. First off, we're going to put the inboard pad back on. There's a couple little holes on the piston that it lines up with. You don't have to worry about keeping it 100% in line. The rotor will help do that. And you can always wiggle it back into place as you get around there. It slams onto the rotor. Make sure your bolts aren't sticking out. There we are. Now, caliper bolts on these require a T47 Torx, a bit of an oddball size. Perfect! Alright. Now that we've got the caliper bolts tightened, I am working on slowly getting the new stainless steel brake hose into place. Now, in order to prep this, you gotta remove, where is it? You gotta remove the old clip, retaining clip, which sits right there. And if it's rusted on, you gotta knock this loose and make sure you loosen this before you do anything. Otherwise, you're really gonna have a fun time. But yeah, I've got all this loose. I just need to tighten this down quick. Be very gentle with it because, you know, aluminum threads. What size is that? That's not a 10. Okay, that's either an 11 or a 12, but yeah. Tighten this down quick, and then loosen this, and then quickly pop that on there so we don't lose too much fluid. Then once I get her back into place, I will probably go around and then do the fronts as well, just to make sure that's all free and done. Just a quick little side note, if you buy these hoses, make sure you file the insides of these prongs here. Otherwise, you've got no chance of getting it on there. Or you could just reuse the old ones, but it's not the route I want to go. Yeah, you can see how difficult of a fit it's going to be. So yeah, definitely file down the inside of those prongs. And use a hammer! What are you stuck on? Okay, got her. There we go. Right. I'm gonna check the other side, and then it'll be time to bleed these puppies. Oh, I gotta get used to her again. Well, for starters, it stops. I can still lock up that one wheel. That's good. Yeah, she's coming back. Stuff's coming back. Just need to come into adjustment first, or if I'm not holding pressure. I later deduced that it was actually air in my rear calipers, so I went ahead and re-bled both of them before taking out on another road test. brakes now. Well, that was a little bit of fun. Finally getting to drive her properly again. She'll need a little wash before the Dells, and I might touch up the rims just a little bit with some black paint. Yeah, otherwise she's pretty much ready to go for the Dells. As ready as I can reasonably get her. And this Fiero will not be the only one going to the Dells. If you come in here, if you can see it at all, but this is the 1985 Fiero GT that also resides at my grandparents'. This one doesn't get to see the daylight nearly as often. And I think she needs a new battery in there. And she needs her brake lines flushed too. Because the last time we had her out, it acted like the brake fluid was starting to boil in the lines, and moisture will kind of mimic that. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks we can get that done in time for the Dells. Otherwise everything else is settled. Oh, almost forgot, yeah, she's probably gonna need either a new valve stem, or it really should just get all new tires. That one especially. Can you believe I picked the 84 Fiero over this little bit nicer GT? I can. The next thing I want to tackle after the Dells is the frame rails and the battery tray on this, because they're a little bit of a thorn in my side, and I like to get it fixed ASAP. Yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed getting back to this old girl. I really missed her. Well, the next video is probably going to be of the Dells run, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. Hopefully within a month or so. First weekend of June, that's when it takes place. And hopefully I will see you there. Bye for now. Oh, someone let their chickens out.